Yeah, welcome back. We're going over some more PvP information. This was Oasis from Bad Company 2, rebuilt into like an attack and defend game mode, and I had the everybody spawning in here. I gotta find it. So when you when you're doing PvP, you may want to explain the game mode because nobody knows what's going on, and you can try putting this on the wall. Sometimes they'll read it, sometimes they won't. You can also put directions in your kits or on the menu screen when you're spawning in. For example, my kits, um, it's been a while since they've even been on here, but your kits might say option 1, destroy the capsule, blue capsule. Option 2, defend your red capsules, things like that, or capture the chopper. Um, so sometimes they'll read it, sometimes they won't. But one trick I tried to do was to lock them in for 5 seconds at the spawn to prevent them from just running off without reading. Um, it didn't work out because of a problem where the people joining late will not see any scripts that were played, so objects that were unspawned will still be present. So what that means is if I had them locked here with a door, which originally I did, then if somebody joined the match late, that door would still be there even though I unspawned it. So what's funny about that is the door might still be around under the terrain because you can't delete any objects involved with scripting. Once your map is ported to console, it will make the map unpublishable. So let's see. People joining late. Also, the host cannot leave or scripts will break. So let's say, for example, you're playing this game mode where your team is working hard to blow up an objective. And then the host leaves and you blow up the objective, nothing's going to happen. You're not going to get any prizes. So it's just bad. Don't play these types of maps if the host has to leave. Um, Frame rates can suffer from too many vehicles. So yeah, that can happen. You gotta kind of set it up with your vehicles up with a delay. If you're gonna do lots of vehicles, maybe like you get one round of vehicles, you get a 2 minute delay, and then that round of vehicles will spawn again. Um, give plenty of weapons that can blow up vehicles. Try not to put too many vehicles that people will not use. Like they won't use boats usually, so don't put too many of those. Um, and if you have AI, that can make it even worse. Your frame rate. If you got AI in vehicles, it can really affect it. Disabling bunny hopping. This is very important because I originally quit playing Far Cry altogether um, a long time ago because of the abusive mechanic where you can jump with no cooldown, and it not only makes your character go faster, but I think it does something to the bullet registration. I've had a lot of experiences where bullets just didn't feel like they were working when people were jumping around. So the way you can do that is you're in your settings now with this mod. Uh, you can actually turn jump height down, which is awesome. I think put it on 0.1. Give me a second because it's been a while, like I said, been a long time since I've been on here. There we go. Gameplay modifiers. Modified jump height 0.01. That will eliminate the bunny hopping, and anybody who's complaining about it. I mean, if you play Ghost Recon or any other shooter, you can't jump anyway. Makes it more realistic. Makes it more of a shooting game rather than a fighting game, whereas takes a little bit more skill to close the distance. Another good thing to remember is when you're doing these mods and after it's ported to console, if you change anything in here, you would lose your jumping modifier. So say I ported the map to console and I wanted to switch it to reckless driving off, my jumping height would go back to regular and I couldn't fix it. I wouldn't be able to fix it. So you could always make two of the same map. Publish one, and then if you're sure you don't want to do any changes, you can publish another one without the reckless driving. So let's see what else. Generally, do not spawn solid objects. I think we covered that pretty well. One thing I forgot to mention is, let's say you spawn in a door or something, and it's a solid object. If it falls over and somebody jumps on it, it can launch them way up in the air. So you can make maybe a gameplay mechanic out of it, but it can make your game mode design out of control. So, whoops, wrong one. Let's see. Time of day changes, limit to 59 seconds. So yeah, with your scripting, you can do time of day changes. As a matter of fact, I think I have a time of day change when you take out both objects or one object. I've got a couple different options to do time of day changing, but if you go past 59 seconds and you port it to console, there seems to be some issues. I tried to do one where the time of day was initiated, the change was initiated at the start of the match and continued to the was supposed to continue throughout the match, but it just didn't work. So keep it 59 or below. Alright, spawning lights, omni lights, spotlights is unreliable. So yeah, if your spotlights and point lights, or I'm sorry, omni lights, they don't spawn very well. They can unspawn pretty reliable. Like when these lasers go away, I got this omni light disappears too. But say for example you wanted to spawn this effect, you'd be okay actually. You could spawn that in because it's an effect, but this light that makes the effect to light up the environment may not work. Maybe the host might see it, or maybe one person in the match might see it, but not everybody. PvP, let's see here. But spawning in effects works good. Like these lasers, any of your sci-fi effects, they work good. If you want to unspawn them though, You can't spawn them in. I think we covered that. They gotta be there already to unspawn them, or you have to spawn them in, or they can spawn in, but you can't unspawn them. However, you could do spawn with a lifetime. That works. So let's see. Match times could be higher. So let's say you got some kind of game mode where you have a round system that's 4 minutes per round. So that's 16 minutes. You know, that's not going to work. So you can up it. I've seen people do. Bo Shatterman did like 59 or something for like a battle royale type mode. Music and PvP. So yeah, this one is interesting. The only reliable way I've found to do music and PvP is first have your soundtrack selected. In this mod, you can do that. That would be where is my music on here? I believe we're in this one maybe. Audio. So whatever music you want, have it selected in here. Usually in PvP, you can't do this. I don't believe. I think the mod allows you to select it. However, I found it to be unreliable. Unless you have a script that starts your music as well. So at the beginning of the match, I have a script just randomly somewhere on your map. I think I put it under the terrain here, if I remember. Let's see. Just a bomb, you know, some fire sets off a bomb, and your script. I don't like using these PC controls with this camera. It makes it really hard. I do all my mapping on PlayStation, by the way. I'm just used to it. But yeah, I gotta pick my select tool. So there it is. So when this bomb blows up, you just add action once. And change music. Change music theme. And it has to match the one in your settings. It has to match. So you can't like start with one music and change it to a different one. Also, you can't pick certain soundtracks for PvP at least. So I'll show you which ones work best. Under environment. Alright. So yeah. Steve has added a ton of music. It didn't need to be this much, but recently added a bunch. You got like sound, talking, voiceovers and stuff in here now. So the ones that work best are your loop soundtracks. All these work good. The ones that never work in PvP are your systemic, which are the cooler, actually the better soundtracks, unfortunately. So if it says systemic, it will not work. The loop ones work good. Some of the newer ones that work good would be these. These work good too. There's some good rock soundtracks. I haven't had time to test all these new ones. The zombie ones, they work maybe like for um, they may work at the start of the match, but they glitch out. Plus, they can eliminate your sound effects in the game. You won't be able to hear your guns or people or anything. Systemic, I told you those don't work. These are, I think these are just repeats. Not sure. If you use these voiceovers, they may glitch out everything and you only hear it once. So the loop ones are good. You can experiment with these soundtracks. Now some of these might play at the start and then they won't play because they don't loop. And some of them might not even play through the first phase. So let's see here. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll go over see if there's anything else to go over. I think we covered that all, so if you got any questions, hit me up in the comments.